All right, you guys know me. You guys may or may not know Jacob Topping, but he's going to help us MC, kind of moderate this. He's knowledgeable on merch by Amazon, so he's going to be taking your questions about merch by Amazon. And as you can see, we now have not just dudes on the panel. Yeah? Give it up. Yeah, good. So questions for them, and there's going to be a 3:45 hard stop. So if anybody up here looks like they're not stopping at 3:45, throw something at them. Deal? Everybody with me? You got something to throw? Pens? Books, anything, all right? Take it away.
All right, guys. This panel is all about merch by Amazon. We're going to answer all your questions. So if you have a question, put your hand up. I'm going to introduce everybody here. Does everybody know every person here?
Short intro.
Okay. This is Ken Reel. Okay, we call him the Pillar. You ask him about that later. This is Nicole Vanderhook. She's very good friends with everyone here. This is Amanda Balcazar. Her husband's in the audience. That's John Balcazar. This is Neil Lawson. He has beautiful dreadlocks. You should ask him about them before they're gone. And this is Anthony Bascilio. He has a good friend, Kevin, in the audience. He spoke earlier today. Now you know who's here. My name's Jacob Topping. I forget myself, so I put my name on a tag. Ready to ask questions? Go. Hands up. First hand up gets the first question. Merch by Amazon question. Amazon question? Okay, right here. Yeah, Mike is coming to you from behind you.
No, you have the mic.
I'm emceeing and answering questions.
You are the runner.
All right, I'll run, no problem.
All right, you know this is going to be about local merch, right? Have any of you successfully leveraged Amazon Smile with your offer to local merch?
I have not, and it looks like nobody else here has either. But you may have a new idea there.
Well, I've done it with a local club. They were selling T-shirts. They were getting them printed locally and selling them. They were just stacking up. They were having a nightmare with them. So I talked to them about, the whole local merch. They loved it, and we signed them up through. They already had an Amazon Smile account from something else, and we were trying to link it, and we were having some problems. This was just like 2 days ago, so I was hoping for some insight.
I can probably get some answers on that. I'll add that to the list, ask some questions next week.
Thank you.
So guys, Amazon Smile is a program by Amazon. It allows you to take a portion of every purchase and donate it to a charity of your choice. Any registered charity in the U.S. is eligible. Amazon Smile. Smile.amazon.com. Okay, next question, question 2. Who's got the second question? In the back. This is Alvaro, guys.
As far as the quality when it comes to the shirts, what do you guys think about the quality and the screen printing that Amazon provides?
The quality of the screen printing is good. I do not like standard shirts. They fit me like a football player crop top. But they have a great margin, so that's what I sell.
It is not screen printing. It is direct-to-garment printing. Totally different. If you're in the industry, there are two totally different print processes. And the shirt that merch actually uses feels like a thinner shirt. It's actually a more expensive shirt than your beefy tee. And they use it because it prints better on the direct-to-garment printers, and that's why you can print one at a time. It's like a big printer, a big inkjet that prints your shirt.
Okay, third question. Third question, number 3. In the front. Wait for the mic.
Can you give us a little more detail about outsourcing the designs? When you speak to a VA, say in the Philippines or somewhere, what do you tell them? What kind of guidance, so that they can give you something that's actually sellable, and how do you?
So I'm not a very creative person. So what I like to do is fire as quickly as possible. So what I will do is I will give them, the ideas of niches that I know are selling. And then I will say, all right, look, you're the designer, you're the graphic person. Use your creativity. If you come back with something I don't like on to the next. And I fire them, move on. But once you find the person that is creative in their own right and that I don't need to personally micromanage, then I try to keep them on board.
Yeah, and I actually, for the first part, a long time when we first started, did all the designing. But then I wanted kind of a different view, because when you're designing just from yourself, I see other shirts that are clearly selling and I'm like, that's horrible, I'd never make it, but it's obviously working. So that's just my opinion. So my opinion really doesn't matter on what sells necessarily. So when I did work with a designer and I had them do some designing, I would basically just give them a spreadsheet, go ahead and, like he said, give them creative control, because it's not necessarily what's going to be for me. So I kind of did it as a little bit of a test. Maybe I would put the phrase and then, describe if I wanted an image on there or whatever. Let them do their thing. As long as it wasn't infringing, then I was like, okay, well, we're going to use this. And then it sold. So it gave me feedback, too, to learn about, what's selling. And I would have never put something like that up, but it works. So then it gives me new ideas on what to do for myself as well.
I don't do a whole lot of outsourcing. I'm a designer by trade and a video editor, so I do probably 60 to 70% of my own designs. I do work with a designer. I don't really remember exactly what your question was, but I have one designer that I work with currently, and she's excellent. She has a different style than I do, and I just sort of give her the ideas and let her run. And
How do you communicate your ideas?
oh, communicating. I have a Google Doc that I give her. So I give her, if I have a couple of examples of the sort of style I want her to go for, I put in whatever words I need her to have it, and we just sort of track it that way. If there's a little column for notes, revisions, if we have to kind of do a little back and forth. So I do it with.
Right now, we pretty much outsource the whole business. We have an operations girl in the Philippines who's amazing. Her comprehension of English is like just as good as anybody here. We pay her full time, $700 a month. She does 60 hours a week. She does all the uploading. She manages the designers. We have one full time right now. We have one full time designer who cranks out designs. He understands what we want, so she directs them. We tell her, she directs them, and then we also use Design Pickle for designs as well. But I haven't uploaded a shirt in like a year. She does all of it.
Okay, that's 3 questions. 4th question. Who's gonna got it? Who's got 4 questions?
I actually have a question. Ooh, it's loud. Fiverr, has anybody tried services like Fiverr, 99 Designs, anything like that for t-shirt designs?
They really like to resell the same design to multiple people there. That's what I've found personally. So stay away.
Yeah, nobody really uses those sites for designs.
It's going to tell you why you may not want to use Fiverr or 99 Designs. I know.
Like you were saying, and probably you want to be careful. Like he said, if they're going to reuse stuff, you're going to want to be careful with that. Even when I'm hiring a designer from Online Jobs PH, I mean, you kind of want to be able to, I can use Illustrator, that's what I use, and I want them to submit that to me. I also make them put in the side because a lot of times when I get the file, if it's in vector format or whatever, there's going to be some of the fonts. And I need to know what those fonts are, especially if they're in outline form. I'm not going to know. So I need to know what those are, because I don't know if they're for commercial use or not. You need to make sure to communicate that to them. And then if they're using different elements from different sites, like they just can't go and rip off elements and put stuff together, and you can get yourself in trouble with that. So merch is very clear that that's all on you. And don't outsource anything. It's your account. So you need to be able to take responsibility for that if you're going to do those things and cover your butt.
Yeah, you've really got to be careful on them when you're using VAs, especially like Fiverr. I would probably use more like the Online PH, the Upwork, and you really have to dive into the designer. Don't be afraid to fire them. And also don't be afraid to ask for sketches. If you're getting an illustrator, ask for his pencil sketch. Nobody just draws it typically on the computer. Even if they're using a tablet, they tend to do a pencil sketch on the tablet and then take it through. So I'll ask them, send me your pencil sketch. Show me that you drew that cartoon for the design, and that verifies that they've actually got some kind of artistic talent without copying somebody else. But it's a bit of a cancer. Go grab another design, copy it, sell it to you. So you've got to do your homework on it.
Okay, we're moving on to question 5. Who's got a 5th question?
how do you upload? How do you automate the upload process with merch?
I don't upload, so I don't know. Hey, we got a team. That automates it for us. You know that.
I have a really large monitor.
Well, so my husband and I split the different jobs on this. So he actually does the uploading, and he really likes Merch Lister Pro. So something that we had actually got a chance to use, and especially when you're uploading in batches in one niche, and you're going to be utilizing, some of the keywords and everything like that, it can save you a lot of time. And yeah, I think Ken has this like a mega monitor and opens up 200 tabs at a time or something, but he can speak on that.
Yeah, I do all of my own uploads, and I have a large monitor. I open multiple tabs, use Merch Lister Pro, and just do it.
Yeah, a big monitor is great. It's going to be very tedious. I don't use Merch Lister Pro, except I do have it. I use a program called Merch Batcher, which allows me to copy key elements and go copy, paste, and just fly through 200 tabs in about 10 minutes, and then go back and change keywords as I want them. It's tedious. It's going to drive you crazy, but that's part of the game. So, one thing I will say right now, bulk uploading for merch, they do not allow scripts and automation or anything like that right now. It may change. We know some people are playing around with bulk uploader betas, but merch is not just going to undo the tap and allow bulk uploading right now. So you need to find ways and tools to allow yourself to save some time doing that. So.
They mentioned a couple of tools here. Merch Lister Pro, for anybody that's not familiar with it, is a Chrome plugin. It runs on your browser. It solves the problem that Ken was talking about. It's not running scripts. So Merch Lister Pro is a Chrome plugin that you can use over top of Chrome browser. So it allows you to upload things without violating the things that Ken had mentioned for. So if you're not familiar with it, Johnny King makes that tool. You can check it out because a couple people mentioned it. Question number 6. We got one? We'll get you a microphone on the end there.
We'll get the mic over there. I had a quick, if you guys would say, if it wasn't for Merch by Amazon, what would you guys be doing?
If it wasn't, I'd be doing a lot more editing, and I'd be doing a lot more FBA. I kind of put FBA on hold to put a lot of focus into merch, and I'm glad I did. I'm trying to find ways to put more time into merch. So
I would be slugging signs and cutting decorative window tint in 120-degree heat in Las Vegas. So now I sit in an air-conditioned room inside of a monitor listening to really loud music, having a lot of fun making money.
We would be continuing to build our private label business, is what we've done. But this is just such a nice marriage and different. A lot of things overlap with, FBA, especially if you've been on Amazon, and there's just a lot of additional benefits with this. And obviously we heard that from David, and so it's a little less risky for sure. But if you're already in the mindset of having a business and you guys have been on Amazon for a while, you'll get this. I think a lot of people jump into merch without any business experience whatsoever, and I think that's fantastic. It's a great opportunity for them, which is very low risk. But just know you guys are at an advantage if you have that mindset to be able to actually treat this like a business, because even though it is open to everybody, a lot of people, like you heard, even friends and family that see them making tons of money, they just don't do anything with it. I mean, for my mom, for instance, we signed her. She was really excited about this, but she's really an employee mentality, So if she's there and wants to do it, I'll help her out. But we've got her, the dojo course, and excited for her to be able to learn from that, and hopefully she'll do something with that. But you guys are definitely at an advantage that if you already own your own business.
I would be selling other people's products instead of my own, doing affiliate marketing.
We would probably be doing FBA all in, but I mean, because of Merch by Amazon, we started doing the content. And because of the content, we built the communities and then the events. And now we're doing this local merch, big B2B play, which has huge, huge upside, way more upside than FBA would ever have. You know, so we'd probably be doing FBA, and I probably wouldn't be that happy about it because I just can't grow it fast enough to where our goals are. So.
All right, so we're gonna go back to question 6. Thanks for that, Chris. Good question. Question 6.
Okay, this is a fun question. Can each one of you tell us your number one selling t-shirt and what was on it? And you should know that. You should be shaking your head no. It's already gone. You sold it already, right? Oh, come on. I thought sharing is caring. Let's go.
Our best-selling shirt is a shirt with a guy like this that says, "Do you even lift, bro?"
I sold a lot of sexy chicken lady shirts.
One of our ones that we sold the most of, we don't sell a lot. We don't go, viral. We kind of stay away from trends a little bit and all that stuff. But we had one Thanksgiving shirt. It was the stupidest shirt, and it just rocked it out. I mean, we sold a ton, so we're looking forward to Thanksgiving again this year.
I've had good luck with some dabbing shirts. I'm ashamed to say. No, I wish.
I had one solar eclipse shirt that did really, really good. It made about $30,000 one shirt. So yeah, it is exciting. One of my best-selling shirts is an idea for my mother, or not my mother, my wife. Wow. No. Just wait. Has anybody? Shut up. Has anybody seen a bear that says "Mama on the bear"? Has anybody seen a copy everywhere? Yeah, I've yet to find anybody that put "Mama" on a bear before I did. So, you bought that one?
Buyers in the audience.
The one that's on the TV show? You bought that one, the distress bear? Wonderful. I'll tell my wife. So.
Okay. All right, we got 7 questions, but before we do that, some housekeeping. We're going to end this at exactly 3:45, which happens in 7 minutes and 8 seconds from now. So, question 7, put up your hand nice and high. You want to do a question? Is there any questions? How about vendors in the back? Any questions? Chaz? No? Ashley? No? Ken? Okay, here we go. Question 5.
So how many of you are actually designers? Is it only a couple or?
I am.
Okay.
I wasn't really a designer. I took years ago. I had one class, and so I got basically the foundation of Illustrator and Photoshop. And throughout the years, all I did was I would create some things for charities if they needed a flyer, but it was so basic. So when I actually got involved, I watched the Proven Merch you guys did. I got replays of that, and it just got me amped up enough to learn more Illustrator from YouTube, because there's a lot of, you can piece that together, and those are amazing. So just learning the basics there, or, my husband works on Over. He has an account, and he just uses the little, if you have an iPhone, you can use the Over app, and it's pretty funny, the stuff that he sells from just doing the stuff on his phone, so.
I'm not either. I think the at the very core, if you want to turn this into a business, I know Ken does quite well, but I harass him constantly about building an actual team. And if you want to build a business, you need to learn how to leverage other people's time in order to turn that into money.
All right, we got a question? Yeah, I'm just curious about what is and isn't copyrighted. How do you protect yourself? I mean, if I'm scrolling through Google and I find an image of some jackass jumping off a roof, can I use that picture if it's a personal photo? How do you know what you can and can't use?
The easiest answer to that is, did you create the photo? Did you draw the image? Is it something you created? And not, the phrase I use is, you can draw Batman, but you can't sell Batman. And that goes for an image that you see on the internet. You need to come up with something that's creative, that you've created, and that's your surefire way to know that you have the copyright. No, you cannot go into Google Images and grab an image and throw it on a t-shirt. You do not have the rights for that.
And not just images. I mean, when we got involved in this, we weren't familiar with anything about it. So, utilizing tests on USPTO to find out about trademarks and stuff, that's really important. But I think one of the biggest things for us and lessons that we had learned when we were submitting stuff in the beginning is, where did you get inspiration from? And if it was definitely from something that you've seen, whether it's a phrase or something, you need to dig in to find out, that if it's really correlated with something major and anybody here could recognize it, don't use it. You can't use it. That's somebody else's inspiration. And, chances are even Amazon might decide that, hey, you're not going to be able to use that regardless if somebody makes a claim or not. So they're going to make sure that everybody's on the straight and narrow and that it's, original.
So piggybacking off that, what I see a lot of the times is people try to use like obscure song lyrics in the middle of a song that I've never heard of, and then someone pointed it out to me, and I was doing a video, and that's not going to get caught right away, but it'll get caught eventually, and then that person's going to get in trouble.
Hey, follow up, Ken. You said you can draw Batman, but you can't sell Batman. But I drew it. It's like and there's a line there to what's original to you, like original creation. But you're taking inspiration from. I heard someone say, "Well, you can go to Google Images for inspiration, but only on some Google Images, right?" So, can you speak more to that, please?
Well, let's use the Batman. You can draw your own Batman, and you have the copyright to that image, but you have no rights to sell that image, right? You can put it on your wall, you can hang it in your office, you can do paintings that way, but you can't sell it. Because of course, obviously DC Comics owns the intellectual property for Batman. The same thing goes if something new is created that you find on Google Images, an artist creates something, you can't just recreate it. You can't just, because you're an illustrator and because you can draw, doesn't mean you can just copy it and draw it. They still have the copyright. If you like something, you need to come up with a new way to draw that, a derivative. And I know there's a lot of argument about derivative, but you can draw a unicorn 1,000 different ways and 1,000 different copyrights, but do not copy somebody's cute little way to do a dabbing unicorn. You have to come up with a new way to draw that and bring it across.
Okay.
All right, question number 9 is up on deck. And we're going to have one question after that. So this is the second last question. Next one's the last one. Go ahead.
I promise it's not about local merch. All right, it's about T-shirt colors. So the question is, you got up to 5 choices. Have you found that picking 5 of the best colors is the right way, or do you just do 1 or 2, make it simple? Because sometimes they can be overwhelmed by too many choices. What's your kind of philosophy on that?
You ever been to Walmart or Target? One color. And I'm not going to say on merch one color, but pick the best color for your design is what's worked for me. I will do 5, but most times right now I'll pick maybe 1, maybe 2, maybe 3. I want to force the customer into the best color for the design, but that doesn't say I won't test colors either. But I do not list 3 different listings to try and get all 15 colors.
I usually pick, 5 colors. Sometimes I will put up an alternate, especially if that one sells, I'll put it up again, see if alternate colors will also sell. Sometimes I'm surprised that like baby blue sells surprisingly, strangely weird. I would never choose to, buy one myself, but just to kind of test out, what the market wants.
It's basically the same thing. When we started, we used all 5 colors, and pretty much now we do as well. We usually get the designs mostly made for black or dark colors, so that's just what does sell mostly. But same thing, like she said, if it turns out that we have a design that's selling and it could also look good on alternative colors, you never know what people are looking for. So we would go ahead and make another batch. I don't think we've ever used all 15 colors, but we've done it batches to where we've done both.
I just picked the best colors available, which is generally the heather ones, sell really, really well.
Usually 5. Sometimes a design only looks good on like 2 or 3. And then sometimes for a holiday like St. Patrick's Day, we put them up if only in green for a whole shitload of listings,
All right, guys. The timer's gone off.
The timer.
We can't do